you guys can see where and how I construct everything. So imagine if we're just drawing any type of legs, right? If we're drawing any type of legs, we would have to add these. So for example, here, these represent the thighs. Here, these represent the shins. So this is where we would actually start our artwork, right? Obviously, if you're drawing any type of person, you have to establish those body parts. No, I'm not doing the torso today, mate. I did the torso. You have to check my YouTube. I don't mix the lives. I don't mix the lives anymore, unfortunately, because then it just becomes absolutely massive. And then I'm here for hours and hours, and I get maybe 10 likes. I hope you understand what I mean. It's just not, it's not a good business model to start mixing the lives. So anyway, so this is the skeleton that you need, right? And there are certain things you need to add to your skeleton, right? So if this is the wireframe of the human body, you don't need any more details than that. However, you do need to add certain, let's say, assets. So if we've got a couple of assets here, or shapes or forms, this is basically how you build up the leg. Because these now belong here, 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 and here. Thank you for the shares and for the follows, by the way, to all those that are in the chat now. Oh, I've got something let me see if I can generate a bit more interest. So if you like what you see, please share it with your friends. I'm going to hit this flare. Apparently that generates interest. So hopefully we will generate a bit more interest in this live. Has anyone got any questions about that? Yes, this will be posted on YouTube as well. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I have a YouTube. It's called Art Walker. My YouTube is called Art Walker, and you will see this on my YouTube. So now, as you can see, I drew this young lady here, right? So I'm going to draw it again. I'm going to draw it again on the side. However, I'm going to use different color. I'm going to use different color pens, right? So you can see it. And in fact, I might even change the position of the legs as well, just so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's go. I should have done it a little bit different, but we can still. Okay, so like this represents the actual shin, sorry, the thigh and the shin, and then we can just add a triangle shape for the foot. I'm going to add another leg here, right? As you can see, line up everything, right? Try and line everything up, keep the lengths roughly the same. And now I've extended this leg slightly. So this is how you build the wireframe. I call it the wireframe for your actual body. You see that? That is the wireframe. So now I am going to ask if you guys have any questions about that. Because now we've gone from wireframe. So if I write wireframe, this gives you the step 1, right? So step 1 is very important, which is this. Step 2 is the cylinders, right? The forms that we're going to add to it. So these are our forms. Let's just go form. And they will be our cylinder forms. So I'm not sure what you mean. I hope you're keeping it clean, because if this live starts to degenerate, I will just throw people out, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. So now we add, if you imagine, it's almost like you're drawing a set of underpants here, right? So this is how you can define the groin area. as I said, this is actually a live stream on drawing quite long, elegant legs. All right, so this is not for everyone. So let's go add our cylinders here, like so. You see that? So I've added my cylinder. I'm going to dip it slightly here, and now you can see we have got the leg. So now we're going to add lower part. So we're going to add the lower part. As I said, these legs are very long, but you know, we can modify that later on, not a problem. And then we add some slight, I'm going to add a slight bulge here, and that slight bulge is to signify where the actual the calf is. All right, so this is all variable. We can vary all of this. Is everyone getting that? No, I'm not doing the torso. Nan, please don't ask that question again. I'm not doing the torso. Is everyone getting that? So now we've got a pretty cool pose, right? From here to here. And the knee would be here and so on. Yes, the hip tilt is very important. Say, for example, very good question, by the way. So say, for example, if you have, let's go, so see, we got this hip tilt here. You see that? We've got the hip tilt here. This is where you could say the hip tilt is quite horizontal, but here is slightly tipped. That's very important. How you doing, Art Story? Yeah, okay. It looks like we've got a bit of a funny one today. It looks a bit of a strange one. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So this is where we can add some very basic foot details, and this is what we would use as our basis for our leg design, or for our character. So now what I would do, really, I've only just started doing it. I've only just started doing this landscape now, so it's easier for me when I want to post this on YouTube. I'm fit, mate. I'm doing all right. I'm doing a little bit of training in my spare time. I'm actually doing a little bit of training and feeling fit. Has anyone got any questions about what I've drawn up until now? Yeah, your health is your wealth. That's for sure. That's for sure. Anyone got any questions about what we've done up until now? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, share my live and send me expensive gifts. No, I'm joking about that. So anyway, so look at that. We've got this green line. Let's draw this green line again a couple times, right? So we go like so, we're like so, right? And then I'm going to swap pens so you guys can see. That's why I keep swapping the pens, right? So I'm going to draw this oval shape here. Again, that is a set of hips. Again, that is another set of hips. Let's go. This is, yes, pretty much the same as the other one, but it doesn't matter. We will tip it and tip it again. So these are literally the hips, the hip area. So you have to define where the front of the body is here. So that is the front of the body here, here, and also here. So that is giving you that the hip swivel. Swiveling those hips. I mean, thanks. Ah, okay, I was wondering about that. Okay, good. Has anyone got any questions about that? All right. So now let's see these here. I've slightly sculpted it here. So when you start to have a knowledge of the anatomy, then you can really start to sculpt the muscles, right? So I know we've got this muscle that dips in here, connects here, right? So now we're going to go really smooth. Here we've got the slight bulge on the hips here, going narrow for the knee area. All right, so the knee area would be roughly there. I'm not going to add tons of detail today. I want to keep it very minimalistic. The calf, I think I've gone a little bit wide on that, so I'm going to take that in a little bit. So we're going more like supermodel form, and then we'll add the same curve in here, right? See, so I'm ignoring my existing lines now. Take this down. The hip is here, like so. Add small ankle here, and now we have an elegant female. You got that about the hip tilt. Good. Well done. I'm glad. You see that hip tilt is very important. When you're drawing anything, it's very important that you get that hip tilt, because then it gives your work a little bit more energy. It's not very stiff and not, that's a very important part, right? And obviously if I was to add a little bit more muscle, just a little bit, because I don't know if you guys know how I usually draw. I don't usually draw like this. Let me see. I usually draw like this. So if you don't know how I draw, that's how I usually draw, right? I draw quite intricate anatomy stuff, right? So I kind of know what I'm talking about. So let's see. If you like what you see, please hit the share button. And if you really like what you see, please forward my live to your friends, as we are now in 18 minutes. So we've got some time. We've got some time to play with. So can you put the whole paper on the screen later? Yes, I will be posting this on my TikTok channel. Definitely. Yeah. I'll probably do it in 2 parts, because I usually work landscape, but now because I'm filming these live streams, I have to I'll probably do 2 parts. So you probably see this part and then you'll see that part. Yeah, good stuff. Has anyone got any questions? Has anyone got any questions? So then this is, you can see now, I'm just literally adding some details to these female hip area, and then obviously you could just add the legs on it, but I haven't got the space. But this is something you should definitely think about practicing if you want to perfect drawing females, and knowing how the hips are shaped, where the rib cage is and stuff like that. It's quite fun. So I'm just playing around with that so I can show you how you can practice that. Like so. And then we can even, sorry, I just heard something at my door. Like so, some crazy dog. I won't finish that one off. So, yeah, so you have to curve this here. You have to take this in here, because when you look at the muscle anatomy, if I was to, let's add it in green here. Any short courses online, go to my Art Walker YouTube channel. Buongiorno. Go to my Art Walker YouTube channel. There are plenty on there for a beginner. Plenty of tips and tricks there. What does I look like? I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. No, well, yes. Yeah, this is, if you were to look at, this is more based on the manga style, the anime style. Yes, the knees are very slim, but that was the goal. If I draw, yeah, let's say semi-realistic, well, not even, would you say that these knees are too small? You probably would. But this is just to emphasize it's the style, right? So would you say this lady, would you say her hips are too wide? Would you say her knee? This is down to how accurate do you want to draw your artwork. If you want to draw a character that's quite elegant, chances are you're going to have very long legs. You're not going to have short legs, unfortunately. This is just the way it is, right? If I have to draw things proportionally, I will draw them like this. So what I'm drawing here is a more animated style. It's not 100% proportional. This is probably, let's say, 80% more proportional than this. However, if you really want to, you can draw your legs. Let's I don't know, I'll draw another one here. Let's go. It all depends on your style, right? Because some people draw very, very proportional, some people don't, right? And obviously we have so many different types of bodies when it comes to females, males or whatever. There's so many different types. If we really wanted to, we could go, let's go curvy, right? Let's go a little bit more curvy here. Let's stick to the principle that I showed you earlier on, right? So let's go. I want to put, how you doing, Pharaoh? Nice to see you, mate. In fact, I'm going to shorten the leg here. I went long again, but I'm going to shorten it and draw someone that's a little bit more proportional, right? So, like so. Let's go like so, and then we go here. I'm just doing it very quickly, right? So, right, let's add the feet. These are just placeholders, right? So now let's go. If I was to add the real anatomy to this body, right? I would add it like this. Right, so now this is where we're going a little bit deeper. So here I've got a very, very narrow, which is fair. I agree 100%, right? So we would go more like this type of thickness. And then obviously you would add the muscle and the kneecap and so on, right? This would be a joint here. This would be a joint here. And these, anywhere you see me draw a circle, that's a joint, right? So we're going a little bit less because I've shortened everything. Here I've gone hyper long, hyper thin. So now let's go. I'm going up into here. I'm going to jut it out slightly. Now we've got that curve here. Here I can go directly like so. I'm going to curve it in, go directly down, go directly down. And again here. Right? So this person is quite curvy, as you can see. Got some heavy, no, not heavy, some lovely hips, let's say. And then, as you can see, I've broadened the knee. So this knee shape here is probably, this one is probably even wider. So let's go wider on the calf and less narrow on the ankle. And then let's go out like so. Like so. And then we'll do the same on this side. I'm going to add a little bit of mass to the knee here because I've gone a bit slim again. Drawing it down to the ankle, the shin, excuse me, and then down to the ankle like so. Like so. There you go. So now we've got, I hope you agree that this young lady here that I'm drawing, it depends, right? If you look at just that drawing here, this person looks sturdier, to me. Is everyone in agreement? This one looks a little bit more elegant. However, this one is not less elegant. I have to agree. Or this is my opinion anyway. This one is not less elegant, but she looks sturdier. She just looks stronger. Let me see if you guys agree. I'm just going to have a little scroll and see what's going on. Ah, Pharaoh, how you doing? Peace, good, bro. How you? I'm good, mate. I'm good. How's your drawing work going? Yeah, I'm going to be shooting always like this from now on. And when I do post my images, I'm going to post half. So, for example, I'm going to post this page. Well, yeah, you can't really see it. But let me see if I can cover that. So I'm going to post half like so and then half like so on TikTok. So we're going to have a different type of setup on TikTok because I need to post these on my YouTube channel. That's why we got a different panel. Thank you, Bone. Thank you, Bone. Bonehead. Oh, I don't like calling you that. That sounds really bad. Yeah, it's a personal perspective, but you can see anything that I draw. You can mess around with it, right? You can play with the dimensions and da da da. If you watch what's it called? Arcane. The legs that what's her name? Jinx has got are unbelievable. She would look anorexic, really. She would be totally anorexic, right? But it's believable because it's Jinx, right? Nobody sits there and thinks, oh, she's got a diet problem. Even though I did, but never mind. Good. Thank you very, very much for the kind gifts, Pharaoh. Any questions? So is there any standard proportions to you? Well, yeah, it depends what you're talking about because I don't believe in these standard proportions. However, if you've got the human body, right, and I don't like even saying it, it gets on my nerves because they say if that's the human body, right, and that's the head, they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 heads. So if this is one head height here, one head, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. So you've got one head here. So usually they say around 7 to 8 heads high, right? So if this is a total of 8 heads, that's usually what we have. However, then we would have maybe 1, 2, 3 to the hip area. And then we have roughly 4 for the legs. Oh, I've gone down too low. Oopsie, excuse me. It should be here. Roughly 4. And then we got 3 heads to the hips. And this is this. But I don't like that. I've got a friend. He's like 2 meters 10. So his legs are really, really long. Because he's just a really tall guy. But that's usually what they say. 8 heads high. And then 4, roughly 4 for the legs. But that's not always the truth. You have to play with that. Is everyone getting that? Cool. Let me just see what's going on. Thank you for answering. You're welcome, Bob. This is why I'm here, mate. I'm just trying to help people out. So if you like what you see, please hit the share and like button 1,000,000 times. Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you. Yeah, we'll probably touch... You know what? I'm going to have to do dynamic poses. We could do a couple of poses, but ultra dynamic poses, I'm going to have to do that in another session because we have to break down how to look at cylinders. And I don't think I've got the time for that. Slowly but surely getting it good. Okay, definitely. Better for YouTube, mate. Definitely. So I've got a little... I don't know if I'm going to switch off my camera, actually. But, we'll see. We will see. Oops, the screen is jumping. So let me just see there. Also, yeah. 6 plus... Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. But it's literally heads. To the torso is around 3 heads. So whatever your head height is, distance is 3 to the torso, 2.5, 3. But it varies, it's variable. Oh, no, thank you, Pharaoh. How you doing, Alex? You're late for class, mate. Yeah, well, precise measurements are going to come in handy when you have to draw things precisely. You know, this, for me, these measurements are okay for what I wanted to draw, because I just wanted to draw some elegant legs. If I was to draw elegant legs, unfortunately, you wouldn't say that these are elegant legs. If I was to draw it like that, you'd probably go, nah. Do you see what I mean? I know you're walking on thin ice. Do you know what I mean? But this is more, I would say this is very athletic, and this is probably more, I don't know. You get what I mean. So, but I got what's missing on your work. Good. Have you read any manga? No, I've never read one. And isn't it funny? Yesterday I bought one. I actually bought one. It was an old stall with some second-hand mangas, and I bought one yesterday. The first one I've ever bought. That's the first one I've ever bought. Oh, you mean on? Yeah, hang in there. I'll explain at the end how I've got this. And this is all in TikTok Studio. Cameras here really, really quickly. Connected with a cable to the computer. TikTok Studio, you have to do this. I draw direct initial days. But like the base of knowledge, like you explained. Yeah, we all are lacking knowledge in that sense. Do you know what I mean? I've got things that I need to practice as well. So, let's get into this. Hold on, I'll just... Oh, meaning if someone wants to learn form from you in the near future, I can teach them, like you explained. Okay, well, they'll have to check out your TikTok. I haven't seen it myself, to be honest, but why not? Why not indeed? If that's where your strengths lie, go for it. I will check you out, and then if anything, if it works well for us all, we can maybe even do a live stream together. We'll see. I'm not committing myself, but it does apply to male legs. However, we're going to stick to the female because male legs look totally different, as you can see. All right, so male legs are totally different, more defined, and and the fat deposits, if I'm allowed to say that word, are slightly different. They're slight different distributions, and the hip shape is also different. Thank you. Right, good. Let's get back into it. So I'm going to flip the paper. So if we are talking about, let's go here. What color did I? I'm going to try and use the same color. It doesn't really matter. Let's go blue again. So now what we're going to do is we are going to draw some hips here. So now everyone's getting that. Everyone's getting that. So what I told you before was, sorry, I keep flipping the paper, to use cylinders, right? So you have to imagine this is what we're using here. So try and sculpt your cylinder roughly the same shape as you want the leg to be, right? So now, if I want, say for example, I'm going to draw, should I draw a line? Yeah, I might just draw a line here. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. So I'm going to go, I'm going to change the color. And then I'm going to add this here and this here. Right? So what is he doing? He's lost it, this guy. He's lost it. So watch now. I'm going to add one here, one here, one here, and here. I've gone ultra elegant again. As I said, I'm doing that on purpose. Gone really, really long. So now you can see. Whoops. We now have a female sitting. Let's add feet. On some sort of chair. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me just scroll down. Good stuff. Good to hear. Sorry you got to go. Okay, have a good day. I'll progress with the eye and the lips droid. Ah, nice. But not the hands. Don't worry. I'm going to do another hand drawing one this week anyway. I should be doing hand drawing ones I could do hand drawing tutorials 8 hours a day. Because there's always new people that want to learn how to draw hands. And hands, you have to practice. If you don't practice it, it does slip away slightly. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, share the live and send me masses of cash. No, I'm joking. I am joking. You understand? So there you go. So all I did was here. This cylinder here at the back, let's call that cylinder at the end of the cylinder 1, 2. Then we add 2 more. And now we have a leg. So it's slightly more dynamic. Do you see that? It's slightly more dynamic than this pose. However, that's how you break it down. That's how you break it down. So if we wanted to, we could add, you know what, I'm going to go a little bit smaller because I don't want to be flying through tons of paper. A little bit smaller. Like so. I have no idea what. Let's go kind of really anime looking. One of those kind of anime poses. Let's go like that. See, so this wireframe helps you, especially if you're looking at, okay, let me correct things, all right? So if you want to get your proportions right, get it right at this stage here. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you get it right at this stage, it's easy to correct it. And if it's wrong, you haven't invested too much time into it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you don't invest too much in the details, especially if the drawing's not right. So this should be centered. So let me shift that over a little bit. Oh, I was going to go smaller, wasn't I? Okay, I'll go smaller there. So when the energy's right here, it's going to be right at the end as well, because the position is right. Ah, you've only now got paper. You're a bit late, mate. For real though, you deserve. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you for the follows and the shares. I have to prepare. Okay. You have paper now. Don't know what SpongeBob his legs look like. And I'm sure his legs look like this. Something really boring like that. And if you can't draw that, I can't help you. Can't help you, mate. If you can't draw SpongeBob's legs, I'll have to look them up. Because I'm sure, you know what? Let me look. No, why am I even? No, I'm not digressing. No, I'm not going to entertain that. So good. Let's go. Let's keep going. So let's add the body to this young lady here, right? So she's doing like one of those cute anime poses as you see them do all the time there when they're kind of scared or whatever. Bear in mind with the anime girls, right? I should have actually done one specifically for anime. They have really crazy skinny proportions and just odd looking legs. So I'm just going to go my way. Like so. As you can see, I'm adding the curves where they need to be added. And then let's go like that. like so, and then we're done, pretty much. So that would be the foundation of my character, and she's kind of, I don't know, acting scared or timid or whatever. So, is everyone getting that? And obviously, you don't have to add tons of an anatomy. You don't have to. But if you want to, that's up to you. That's up to your style. Good. Has anyone got any questions? Thank you to those. Ah, oh, mate, only 5,000 likes. Man, I've seen cats. What did I see yesterday? Some cat kittens or something, and it's like 108,000 likes, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? How do you draw the knee without getting weird? Well, you need to understand what the knee actually looks like. And this is why the knee ends up looking weird. Because you don't actually know what he looks like. Oh, Pharaoh, what are you doing? Pharaoh's gone mad. He's just loading me 1,000,000 gifts. So if you know what the knee actually looks like, and I'm going to just draw it here, right? So if I draw the knee, this is why you have to have an understanding of the anatomy. For me, it's very important, especially if you want your characters to look convincing. So the knee roughly looks like this. So if you do invest time into anatomy, it's not going to be wasted. Hold on, is that the wrong side? That is the wrong side, actually. Hold on, outside. No, it's not. No, it's not. I thought I had it wrong. Good. No, it's good. So this is what the knee actually looks like. And we've got 2 bones in our shin, actually. You guys can see that, yeah, good. So this would be the kneecap here, and this would be the actual thigh bone, right? So let's add some detail to this knee, right? So we've got this tendon here that connects the knee here to the kneecap. So that connects the shin and the kneecap, right? And if let me just contour that in a little bit. And then let's give that a little bit of contouring as well. Right, so that's basically the bone and the tendon. And you got a bit of gristle in the middle here. I'm going to stick to this color. We've got muscle here on the knee itself. And then we've got the thigh muscle here. I've gone a bit heavier here. It looks a bit more like a masculine leg. However, that's something that you have to understand. Once you start to pick up the muscle groups and you know where they are, you can sculpt your knee to look a little bit more realistic. And then the calf would be here. Then you can see some of the muscles on the side, and we continue on down. See, that's what you need to understand. So if you draw the knee and it looks a bit weird, you have to understand, what does the knee actually look like from the front? See that? So that would be the knee. Then we've got this tendon coming down here. Then we've got the shin. I'm not going to add both the bones because I know there are 2 there anyway. So then I'll just add that like so. See? So that's what the knee looks like without any muscle on it. We'd have that second bone here, right? And then you can say, okay, I'm happy with that. And then you add all the relevant muscle around it. I'm running out of space there, but you get my point. And then you add the foot and so on. So that's how you can construct a knee without making it look, then it doesn't look too weird. Because then you've got an understanding of where the kneecap is, where the shading belongs, and so on. I'm just doing this really, really quickly. Oops. Pharaoh, thank you very much. You, no need at all, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my God, the shin is in front. What? Oh my God. The shin is in front of the calf. Oh my God. What? What? I don't get what you mean. I think, well, 100% of the people, no, 99%, it should be in front of the calf. Yeah. I see. Yeah. And then it's just a case of, wrapping everything around it, right? Oops. It's just a case of wrapping, because obviously you're not going to draw all of that. But if I'm going to draw the knee, right, if I'm going to draw the knee here, I'm thinking about, okay, where is the kneecap? So for example, here, I'm just thinking about where is the kneecap? Where is that tendon? Where is the muscle around the knee? And then where is the thigh? It's like so. This is the shin, the lower part of the shin. See, so now you can see, because of the knowledge I have of where things should be, it helps me construct a leg. And I can even add a little bit more here. Do you see what I'm saying? So it does actually help you when you pick up that knowledge. I've just drawn up this leg really quickly. And then you've got the bumps and the curves in roughly the right spot. Pull that forward a bit. And then we can add. See, so now I've constructed that leg very quickly, as you can see. And I know roughly where all and everything contours and bends and da. Also here, can take that in a bit. See, so that is the same as that. But this is more like a breakdown. But chances are, if I do draw a leg, I'll probably still add the basis. And the basis would be like something like this. I will probably still do that, because that just helps me orientate myself. If it's at an odd angle, then I know, oh yeah, this belongs here. This is the thigh muscle. This is the other side, and then I can add the knee. You just see what I'm saying? So that's how I would do it. So I hope I don't want anyone to perish either, if I'm honest. That's why I'm doing this for free. I just realised that the shin is in front of the... Oh, you just realised that? I thought you were joking. Please hit the like button. And if you're not following, I think you should, because I've got some cool stuff. And jump onto my my YouTube. Today I'm focusing mainly on females. I'm going to draw some female characters again soon. I've got one here. She's quite elegant. I'll just take her out. So if you like this kind of stuff, then you should join me. And I draw males. And I did a recent tutorial on, if you missed that one, that has been posted already onto my YouTube on how to draw lips. And that was a cool one, very fun one. And then I do stuff on anatomy, more hardcore anatomy stuff. As you can see, this is a pretty, well, I'd say it's a male leg, obviously without any skin, because it's anatomy drawing. And then I will get into poses, not today, running out of time, unfortunately, but we can get into elegant poses as well. So we've got something where you can see the elegant pose, and it's an anime character with hair and stuff like that. So there you go. So let's get into this last 10 minutes. I'll give you guys and girls the opportunity to ask any questions. Yes, the shin is in front of the calf. And say, for example, here, if we're talking about legs, right? So let's go. I'm going to just keep going. This is what the human leg looks like from the side, right? So if we've got, let's keep these distances the same. Yeah, that's about right. So if we've got the hip area here, all right, and that would be here. So then we add the shin and then the foot. Foot drawing tutorial is actually already on my YouTube. So check that one out if you don't know how to draw feet. And I'm going to do a deep dive into that very soon. I haven't done one for a while, but I will be doing that soon. And then let's try and stick to kind of elegant or long, right? So I'm not going to add masses of muscle. Like so. And then we're going to add the cylinder here and here. And that's how you start to build up drawing. That's connected to there. And then we have a leg. Quite a long leg. However, we can shorten everything just to show that, you know, I'm not against anyone. Don't want to upset anyone. So let's go shorter. Let's represent all. And let's go wider. I'm a bit short there. I think I've gone a bit too short. But you get my drift. Same principle. Executes a different shape. Well, just like here, you just broaden it. Here, this is very slim, very skinny, very, very skinny. However, if I wanted to add more to it, let's add more to it with red. Let's add some more mass to this body here. So I'm going to add, so we've got the blue, and now we're adding the red. So it's the same person. But we've added more mass to the body. You see that? And then we can add calf muscle, and so on. Does taking my time when drawing something help? Yeah, for sure. Not like me, I'm rushing around like a madman here. But I try to keep my audience amused. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you're not following and you are enjoying this live stream, I think it's only fair that you think about it or not. because I am actually offering this for free, and if you support me, I can continue to support you. It's about, unfortunately, there are people out there, they just want to exploit and just get a free lesson and not support. But in the end, everyone will suffer, because then at some point I might just say, well, I'm just going to start charging. Because I don't get paid for this. But if you guys support me, then it encourages me to keep going. If you understand what I mean. Good. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. Unless anyone's got any questions. We've got these, as I said, elegant legs. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice. So, anyone got any questions before I wind this down? Pharaoh, are you still there? Because then I can quickly explain to you my setup. As we haven't got many questions, I might as well use this as an opportunity to help you out quickly. Just playing around. I'm choosing my words very carefully. Just experimenting with the different angles and positions. That's probably a tutorial that I should do, actually. I should actually do one on how to draw elegant curvy hips. Why not indeed? So, Pharaoh, what I've got here, my setup here, seeing as we don't have many questions, as I said, the leg length is totally variable. Usually they say it's 4 heads. However, if you've got an elegant character like this, she's got a tiny head. And she's got 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's pretty much 4 actually. So, but with the feet, she's got quite long legs. So she's got longer legs in comparison to the ratio of her head. So they usually say around 3.5, 4 from here to here. But that, as I said, you can vary that. You don't have to stick to that, because this person has shorter legs, longer legs, Today we're more focused on elegant legs. So, so my setup is I have TikTok Studio. I have 2 camera sources. I have one in front of me on the computer PC. One above me, which is my phone. My phone is connected to my computer. And when you go into TikTok Studio, you've got this panel or like a desktop where you've got scenes and sources. So your sources are your cameras. So I've got phone camera and video camera. They're connected via cable. And that's what you have to make sure you mention. You can either connect via Wi-Fi or via cable. I find that the cable is more reliable. So you give that in, you tap, when you go into TikTok Studio, you say go live, then you can say share, and they ask you how you want to share, via cable or via Wi-Fi. What else could I tell you? You can add different screens and you can crop. So that's how I've got this screen like this. I've cropped my the view of myself here. So that's what you can do there. Other than that, yeah, there's not much else I can tell you. And the reason I'm filming it like this is because I want to be able to post these videos on YouTube. Why? Because I've got a Mac at home already, and I think there are some issues with Mac and TikTok. What they are, I can't remember, but that's one of the reasons why I decided not to use my Mac. And then saying that, my Mac is quite old, but it works really well, and it's got some software on there that I really don't want to replace, like Adobe, Photoshop, very old versions, but they help me when I have to do these thumbnails for my TikTok and YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's why I've got a PC now. So I've got the Mac is actually behind my PC, or laptop, I should say. Good. Any questions? Has anyone got any questions? Any questions? Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you. Yeah, so you've got the studio view. So you've got landscape and you've got portrait. So you can, that's where I'm going portrait. So I was going portrait before, now I'm going landscape. Plus button, 2 sources. This camera, computer camera. That's basically it. All in TikTok Studio, not TikTok. Because I didn't know that when I started as well. TikTok Studio is where you do all the video cutting, and it saves the videos in the background in there. So I think we're pretty much done. Unless anyone's got any questions, I'm probably going to wind this down now. And if you did enjoy that, thank you very much for your time. And that gives you a little bit of an insight how to draw, or plan to draw, elegant legs. Yeah, I will be posting this on my TikTok. I will post everything. So don't worry. I'll post it and you can put it in your favorites. You can put it all in your favorites, and then you can, what I would suggest you do is you put this in your favorites, watch the video again, and then you'll see the steps, and it's self-explanatory. You see exactly what I'm saying and you'll be fine. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you very much for the kind gifts. I've achieved a goal, actually. I think that's a lot to do with Sam and Pharaoh for those wild gifts. 37 of whatever those are. That is, I don't even know. Popular. Oh, thank you for that. I don't even know what these gifts are, to be honest. I really don't know what they are. I don't know. You've probably given me, like, I don't know, the equivalent of 5 cars and I wouldn't know. I don't even know what they are. So I apologise if I'm a little bit, what's the word, nonchalant. Oh, thank you for the gifts. I don't even know. Don't know. Oh, Sam, I don't know if you're meaning to do that, but I appreciate it. Good. Like, we are now in 1 hour and 5 minutes. So my favourite drawing. Oh la la. Hold on. One of my favourites is pretty much here. This one. This is one of my favourites because I excelled. I did a week of what do you call it? Anatomy drawings. And one of my favourite, it's quite an ugly drawing actually, but it's actually one of my favourites. Where's my Afro girl? My Afro girl is one of my favourites. If I can find her. Oh, she's hidden away somewhere. Sorry, 1 minute. I can't find her. I've got quite a few favourites actually. You know what? One of my oldest drawings, right? I'm going to show you one of my oldest drawings. Where's she gone? I've got too many drawings. In fact, let me show you guys. I'm just going to give you a flick through. This is just one folder I've got, right? What is this leg doing in here? Oh, I'm got a mess here now. This is my female anime folder, right? So if I go through this one, just quickly, I'm going to just fly through it. This is just female anime, right? So this is I should do an exhibition one day. So we've got, let's see, let's take it out a little bit. So we got some female anime. We got Lucy, Rebecca. We got Rebecca again. We got Jinx and Vi. Let me switch that light off so it doesn't reflect as much. And then we go. Some of these I just made them up. Some of these just made up. There's some cyber girl, crazy looking cyber girl. I don't even know who this is. I designed her. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. This is one of the first drawings I really fell in love with, actually. And it's on the worst paper in the world. And I'll never redraw it. But this is one of my favorites. That one. So you've seen that one. That's some samurai. Some cyber, whatever. There's my other afro. This is one of my favorites. And this one. This one's cool. This is a steampunk girl. And I have males. I have some male figures drawn up. But this is just a female. Some of the older ones as well. Some really old ones in there. Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And one of my favourite pieces is also, it's a little bit more old school in the style. However, it was a challenge for me to draw like this, and I'm going to draw like this again actually. And that was this one where I drew this zombie swamp thing. So as you can see, it's a pretty ugly looking dude, but it's a totally different style, and I do like to dabble with different styles, and you can learn a lot from practicing different things. There you go. That's one of my favorites. So in a nutshell, that is basically it. So, okay, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Wish you all a lovely day. I really, really appreciate all of your kind gifts. Very generous indeed. And thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope it helps. I will be probably, I don't know if I'm going to be on again this evening. Maybe just practicing on my own, not offering a tutorial as such. I will be posting this on my YouTube. So check it out, and I will be posting these images on my TikTok. So I would use them both at the same time, and then you can go through the live again. Good. So thank you to all, and you're welcome to all the new followers. More than welcome. Are you a doctor or an artist? That's funny. I missed that one. I've heard that a lot. People keep saying I'm a doctor because the level of accuracy. Yeah, we'll see. No, I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. You're welcome. Okay, take care, everyone. God bless. See ya.